Hi everyone. Alright, welcome to another pick a card. So we have 3 pieces of wood. We have a really smooth, almost like something to write with, some kind of writing implement, wood here. Then we have an old branch that has a lot of symbols carved into it by nature. I always found that so fascinating. Maybe you'll see something there, number 2. And then number 3 is this beautiful piece of wood. I don't remember where I found this one, but you can see how there's like a spiral in the center of it, and it was a part of something large. All of these were part of something larger, but this is within, right? So that's number 3. So it's kind of small. I guess it's small, medium, large. So maybe pause and take your time. Per usual, I'm sensing this pick a card as you can determine what you want it to be about, and I'll do my best to tell the story. Alright, we're going to start with number 1, okay? So let's see. What are your cards? Oh, the sea otter. Kinship. Oh, that's beautiful. Sea otter is very playful. Very loving. Water energy. Oh, and then we have the lion. Leadership. Awesome. So this is a fun leader. Maybe I heard maybe this is like a teacher energy. This is a nice understanding here. Let's see the third one. Oh, zebra. Lots of animals this time. Zebra, and what's this one? 7 of Cups. Interesting. Well, let's go one by one. So there's uniqueness here. Very unique. Kind of like there's an inner knowing of someone's, I heard abilities of difference. It's not forceful though. It's just like, this is where I heard, this is who I am. But maybe someone feels a little bit like, sometimes maybe they feel small. And they may wonder, like, am I? I heard, do I deserve that? Am I good enough? Questions, right? Lots of questions. Interesting. Well, again, sea otter is this is very independent. Lion, very independent. So we have 2 earth, 2 earth, 2 water. Earth and water is what we have. So this is the thing, something solid. Okay, right? Lion, very solid. Zebra is a very big animal also. And these are herd animals, meaning they have others around them that are a part of the group, that are supporting, right? There are, of course, leaders in that. But even, what do I see? There's support. That's the point here. And the earth is solid. And now emotionally, I feel that something is very positive here. Like, there could be people in your life that are like friends of yours. Kinship is, you know, it could be family too, where it's just like there's such a sweet support around someone. This could be like very cheerleader energy, like, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you know. But I suppose at times this could be Zebra admitting something to oneself where they're kind of like, can I? Again, can I? Do I? Will I? Am I? These questions. Well, I guess in one way you'll know these questions more by what kind of energy is around you or what is being expressed towards you, right? If there's a lot of kindnesses after, say you create something, you participate with something, there's a lot of kindnesses around that, then you don't have to question yourself so much, Zebra. And maybe part of this is where someone is totally like a leader, but again, they're different. They're a bit different than others. I mean, everyone's got uniqueness, but I see this specifically like a little extra different, but it's not trying to be different. It's just the essence of who a person is, like in their soul, you know. And maybe part of it is something about where, because I'm almost seeing like this otter as the student and then this lion as the teacher. So it could be one of those things. Oh, maybe some of you, this is about parenthood, or I guess relationships in general, however you're connecting there. But the way I saw, what I just saw was perhaps some people feel like this otter usually handles themselves purely, and they enjoy their own company. They're very fun, playful energy, and even when they have little pups, they're not controlling about that. Like when there's things that they love, they actually will create like a little nest of seaweed and put their pups in it and then go swim off and do their thing. I heard they're like the rabbit of the sea. So you have to have trust with otter about what is sacred to you. And I feel like there could be a stepping stone, like a bridge into this, I heard a next zone. And this is where someone perhaps is questioning, like someone could get a promotion, or someone could, again, move into this, whatever this leadership position. But it's important. You want to believe in yourself. And remember, well, I heard we don't get, what is it? Well, maybe someone I heard is tired of playing around, just playing with something. What's happening is they're getting really serious about it. But maybe that's a part of it. This could be where some of you, there's someone growing up. You know what I mean? It's growing. It's like wanting to grow up and again take on this new position. But it doesn't lose the essence of what it was. It just takes on more responsibilities. And I guess for some that could either be difficult because they haven't done that before, as if, say, your children are becoming adults, or again, you've been in student position, you're moving into teacher position, you're learning, someone's learning something more about something, which, again, it's either gonna cause a person to be like, am I good enough? Or there's a lot of questions around that. Not to be redundant, let's see about this Seven of Cups, because Seven of Cups usually is you have options, but this ends up making it feel like an emotional choice, right? Which I suppose if the emotional space is chosen happily, then you're going to make the right choice. Like if a person is contented with themselves, they know they have support, they're not afraid of losing anything, then the emotional choice is fine. And then it will just be a little test of confidence when you get there, right? Because even if you felt good there, you're going to be like, yeah, I feel good. And then it's like, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, this is, so maybe some of you have lost in the past, right? Your friends will be what is really important. Your friends, those who support your abilities, again, you want to tap into that when you're questioning yourself. Not that this needs words of affirmation exactly, but you're going to know, you know. Because I feel like this is a place of great success here. But it would almost be like, it reminds me of Scorpio, Libra, Virgo kind of energy where like when they get a gift to move up, like a great blessing to move up into a place of power or a position of power, meaning responsibility. But there's great benefit for that soul too, for that creation process. It's like, because all of these are very creative. But it could be like, all right, what do I do with all that? What do I do? What do I do with that talent, right? But when that happens, especially with those energies, the energy can come in where it's like, okay, I know I can do it, but do I deserve it? And maybe a part of that humility is actually what makes that childlike innocence a little bit is going to actually make what this leader needs to be. That little bit of, I heard, humility helps so that a person always realizes that they're always learning instead of fighting the process. And that in and of itself, you know, where are you taking up a leadership position also? Or where could you, you know? Right? I suppose, of course, this can also be, you know, our relationships with others. Like, I feel like we switch roles with leadership. No one can be the leader all the time, right? Not even the Queen of Pentacles, not even the Queen of Swords, right? Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Cups. We have to, like, work together, you know? So I guess whatever you're trying to achieve, I suppose it takes others, not only like support, but right, even the president has a vice president. Okay, we've said enough about that one. Interesting. Lion, thank you very much. Let's go to number 2, 1330. Let's see number 2. Hold on a second. Yeah. Alright, what we got going on number 2? Oh, fox. Shapes. Okay, fox. Oh, the rainbow. So something is so shape-shifting. It's like something's turning into something else. Fish. Interesting combination. 8 of Wands. What are we talking about? Hold on. Well, let's go one by one. I'm seeing foxes as the Queen Inari, and this is the Kitsune that holds the key to the granary, right? And the granary is that which feeds everyone. It ensures that everyone has enough. This is a very responsible position, the Kitsune. Now, Kitsune is also kind of like animal and human. So I suppose there's something that some of you have been wishing for to change or to shift. Like, I heard, I want to become this. And I suppose that transition process starts to move forward. Just a second. You want to remember that this is very, okay, this is kind of nature energy, right? Fox, you don't see fox often, right? It usually hides in the shadows. It usually keeps to itself. Hey, Zumi. So for it to show up, it means something magical is going on. And right, the rainbow is not always out. When we see a rainbow, we're always like, oh my God, like, look, a rainbow, right? It's not something that's always happening either. And then fish, like, you could stand at water, like at a stream or a brook or in the ocean or a lake. There's always usually water, but to see a fish, like, jump out of the water is, again, rare. So there's something rare about this situation. Okay, whatever you're working through or dealing with or wanting to create, I guess what the message is suggesting is that, because these aren't necessarily miracles, it's just something you don't see all the time, right? But someone, when you see it, it's like you're in the right place at the right time. 1717. It's like you're in the right place at the right time, and what that does is have something show itself to you, which gives you some kind of information. Maybe something for some of you you've been asking for it to, because as the fox learns, it gains another tail. But it's not one lesson equals one tail. It's many, many, many lessons create the growth of one tail. Then many, many, many lessons, the growth of another, the completion or the true like fullness of the tail. Once there's 9 of them, then you can shift this into a whole new thing. It becomes something else. I just pulled the Ace of Cups. So what are you wanting to shift? This is about peace and love, right? So I want you to love, the message would be, I want you to love what's changing in you right now. What's changing for you. And realize that the outside of you, especially in a natural way, well, again, animals, plants, like environmental things, are what is, that is showing you like little messages about yourself, okay? But it's not so literal. It's not like, because these kind of messages aren't like a plane writing in the sky. You know, it's like, oh, I just saw a rainbow. Like, look at that iridescent. Wow, I heard there's a dog star. I suppose for some, this could also be where there's some kind of untangling, because this is usually to me Pisces, but it's only one fish, not two. So maybe there's also someone that you have loved that is now in a different place, that is sending you messages like that also. I don't know if this is from the other side, like heaven, if you will, or if it's just a distance between. Right, because the fox is on one side and the fish is on the other of the rainbow. This is also earth and water, which the first one talked about. But this also has fire in it. So I guess remember, in whatever the changes are, a rainbow can only come after the rain, right? And then the sun comes out, which causes the one to see all the colors of something, right? Usually the storm is gray and cold and dreary, and then it's like the light comes out, the sun comes out, the rain stops. Although what's interesting is with this kitsune, the fox, when it's raining and sunny is also another thing you want to pay attention to, because that's also when there's magic that comes from this place. Then the rainbow comes, which helps a person to believe more. Maybe this is just, it could be just an expression of learning to believe more in the magic of life. And I don't even, it could be technically like, again, helping a person understand where they're at, or to love themselves, or that God loves them, or that they are loved, right? This perfect love is a part of you no matter what transition you're going through, whether it's rainy or whether there's a rainbow. But I guess this is also just kind of believing the miracle of life. And I suppose if you're relating this to relationships, because I kept sort of seeing this as a marriage, like what a person wants in love, in themselves, but also with others, this bridge, this rainbow bridge here, which represents an understanding of aligning a person correctly in all the places, so that when they meet up with, well, I heard with themselves, then they feel whole about that. They feel peace about that. So I suppose if you are feeling down a little bit or confused emotionally, I would wait. I would hold off a little bit to have any major conversations. This would be more of having, when it's cloudy, have conversations with yourself about how you're changing right now, or perhaps for some of you, what you know you need to change in and of yourself, so that you can have more of the love that you've been seeking, so that comes towards you. I mean, it's all within you, love. It's not, like Cancer said, it's not a noun, it's a verb, right? So perhaps it's wanting to shift the place in oneself where they're coming to understand more that a person is love. And maybe for some, they have to untangle themselves from something. Or someone is untangling themselves from something over here, and this is shifting and growing over here. Huh. I suppose this is a lot of acceptance in what's happening too. rainy, or rainbow. Okay. Interesting. Excuse me. Let's look at number 3. Close this out. Excuse me. Alright, I love this piece of wood. Isn't it beautiful? I feel like it fell out of the center of like the most ancient tree ever for some reason. I don't know if I found this in the desert or what. Alright, let's see. What are your cards? Number 3. 25, 33. Alright, we have rabbits. It says challenge on it. Elephant, gratitude. Mouse. And 7 of swords. Well, I heard, okay, let's get real. Number 1 also had a 7 here, so perhaps that could be helpful. If there's been a cycle that's been repeating and something cannot be solved for some reason, I feel this interpersonally, then it would be like, I heard a goodbye, a gratitude, like a goodbye with gratitude. There's a little dysfunction in this one, where perhaps someone feels, excuse me, like, let's go over this. So this way, the way I'm seeing this is like, okay, here's a challenge. But this is like the same kind of disagreement, or like, because maybe someone's finally figuring out the difference between difficulty and dysfunction. And if it's just in a, okay, I'm in a difficult zone, then just that, well, I heard it's this gratitude card is like, all right, because this could be one of those things where something's unhealthy, but a person only remembers the good parts about something. Now, it doesn't mean that that's not true, those good parts. But I see it's really important to pay attention to this goes back into getting really real. This is, all right, let's just make an example that I see. Say you're dating somebody, you're always fighting about something, you can't seem to get along, things are discussed, but the cycle continues. And someone deep down doesn't feel better about it, but on the surface, it seems like that. Or I'm also seeing where, say there's disagreements and there's like a passive, this mouse, it's like a passive energy. I mean, I suppose there's a lot of forgiveness in here. But I see that someone's been, well, they want to believe that someone can get better. They want to believe like, oh, the liar will stop lying. You know, they'll stop hitting me. They'll stop treating me badly. I'm going to just focus on the good. I'm just going to focus on the good. I'm just going to focus on the good. But I guess that's denying one's own power of awareness. It's not that the gratitude shouldn't be there. But I do see that there's like a breach of trust here. You know, it's like, because what am I seeing? There are always challenges in life, right, Rabbit? And I'm seeing this is like a partner, this is a partner. So this would be like a choice, right? Little mouse is like, can I trust again? Can I trust you? Can I trust you? Can I trust you? I don't feel like I can trust you. And I heard, oh, there they go, doing the same thing again. But they realize if they even, this could be one of those things where someone is like afraid to speak their own truth because they feel like it'll be a fight, because perhaps somebody, whoever's watching this, there's passive energy here. Very passive. Elephants are very family, this could be family oriented. It doesn't have to be romantic. You know, where it's kind of like, I love you no matter what. But I could see that this could also be where someone believes, at least in the undercurrent of what's happening, someone believes that love is where you get treated badly. And again, just watch there's a difficulty between dysfunction and just difficulty. And someone's afraid to speak about something. They're afraid, again, to speak their truth because they feel like, well, if I say that, it's just going to be a fight. So I'm just going to focus again on like what's positive. Now, again, I see that can be beneficial. Let's see. Because I feel like these all go together. Hold on. You want to, okay, make a pros and cons list of what you're dealing with. Let's see. I mean, you'd want to have gratitude around the challenge, because this could also be where, for some, this could be like, all right, we'll get out of that other energy. I see where flip the book, new chapter. It's like, okay, I'm grateful for the challenge right now that's in front of me to have a person do what they're usually afraid of. And I see for most people is to speak their truth, to even address an issue. Because someone perhaps shirks issues. Let's see, Magician, which to me is not it's not positive. Right? Magician is a trickster. It shows you one thing with one hand, and then it gives this with another. Four of Swords. King of Swords. Three of Swords. Page of Swords. Holy. Knight of Wands. And the Six of Cups. So for some of you, this is an old relationship. Or again, an understanding. Because there was a time when love was pure. There was a time when someone was not afraid, right? But I also see they need courage. Whether this is family, I feel like this is family, this is interpersonal energy, wherever this is coming from. Well, I see if a person doesn't sit with, you can pay attention to the positivity all day. That's helpful. Some of you here are so positive. It's like somebody only focuses on the happy, even though there's all this challenging difficulty behind them, which again has its promise and its providence in it. But there's something here about the mind wants someone to really consider here how they ignore what's unhealthy. Whether this is your own pain or one's own pain, or because we have to, and say this is a past relationship, however that relates, a past connection. And for some of you it could be sexual, but it's like you want to know what the challenges were in that previous relationship so that it doesn't roll over into your other relationships. Right? Sometimes we're treated badly or we have people like where a person doesn't feel strong enough to do something because part of, or again I see, or treated badly sometimes because it wants the weak one, right? The like, I love you no matter what, you just punch me in the face. It's like to love themselves more and realize where the pattern comes from. So I guess this is also where sometimes a person takes a lot less than their worth, but they have to acknowledge, they have to be honest, someone has to be honest with themselves. That's the challenge. Honest with their heart, right? This could be too, like when Venus goes into retrograde, where some, you know when you fantasize about an ex and you only think about like all the good things after some time has gone by, you like only think about all the good things, but you forget about all the stuff. However this relates, this whole relationships, time goes by, I heard someone feels lonely and they just keep thinking about all the good stuff. It's like nothing wrong with that. But don't gloss over. Don't please. There's a suggestion to not gloss over. The truth. Okay? Because remember, the mind takes a little bit longer to accept what the heart knows. And maybe for some this would be just acknowledging where you have been hurt, you know, or where you have been lied to, or where you have been tricked, regardless of the good parts of that relationship or those relationships, but just acknowledging a bit. So again, one can be honest with themselves. I feel like that's really the challenge for someone, is for someone to be honest with themselves. And I heard, I love you, but maybe this is maybe this goes all the way back to family. And then I heard transfers over into relationships in the present time. And all a person wants here is love and commitment and comfort. But I guess this would also be soothing oneself by, again, I guess soothing oneself by acknowledging one's pain and admitting what's on someone's heart. Okay. Interesting. If you are in a toxic place, or you're learn to let go of that, and this lesson is being learned, Knight of Cups, Four of Wands, Hierophant, the Papa, then I see that this can come to you, but only after we do what's beneath it, right? And maybe that's it for some of you, is this is what's happening on the surface. It's like, I love my family, like I love my spouse, I love, everything's good, la 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 la. But if you peeled it back, there's some real things going on here that just need to be addressed. And I actually see that there's a lot of blessings in that. But it takes a whole bunch. This takes a few times of doing it, right? Yeah. And I guess if this is not your energy, but you're relating this to someone else in your life, although please remember this is your reading, you're here. We're all mirrors to one another. It's like, well, remember, you can't fix them, but you can certainly sort out your own situation. Someone's been lied to a lot. Like, trust has been broken a lot. If someone glosses over issues, it's not, yeah. And I guess that's done with. Or it needs to be done with. But maybe someone doesn't want to be done with it. But I see if they unhook themselves from something, there's a whole new opportunity here. Yeah, Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. It's like new energy that it's the right amount, I heard, of sunlight to make the seed grow. And part of how you water that seed is by releasing some kind of something that's been condensed. I know, it's hard to be honest. I know. But there is great reward in that. Alright. I love you so much. Please take care of yourself. Talk to you next time. Peace out.